On December 11, 2008, the financial world received a jolt that would expose a dark secret lurking beneath the surface of Wall Street's glittering facade. Bernie Madoff, a name synonymous with success and financial acumen, was arrested by the FBI. His crime? Orchestrating the largest Ponzi scheme in history. A staggering fraud that had bilked investors out of an estimated $65 billion. The news sent shockwaves across the globe, shattering the illusion of invincibility surrounding the financial elite. For Madoff's victims, the revelation was nothing short of catastrophic. At the heart of Bernie Madoff's empire of illusion lay a deceptively simple scheme, the Ponzi scheme. This scheme, though seemingly straightforward, was executed with a level of sophistication that fooled even the most seasoned investors. Named after Charles Ponzi, an Italian immigrant who gained notoriety in the 1920s for his own fraudulent investment operations. The Ponzi scheme has become synonymous with financial deception. The scheme relies on a constant influx of new investors to pay off older ones. This creates a cycle of dependency where the illusion of profitability is maintained by the continuous flow of new money. Like a financial house of cards, it precariously balances on the illusion of high returns, promising investors substantial gains while hiding the underlying instability. All the while, funds are siphoned off for the orchestrator's personal gain, financing a lifestyle of unimaginable luxury and excess. Madoff's genius, if one could call it that, lay in his ability to maintain this illusion for over 2 decades. His charm and reputation allowed him to build a facade of trust and reliability, ensnaring a diverse clientele that ranged from individual investors to sophisticated financial institutions. Madoff's scheme was a testament to the power of deception and the vulnerability of even the most astute financial minds. Bernie Madoff's story, like many tales of ambition and deceit, began with humble beginnings. Born in 1938 in the borough of Queens, New York, Madoff was raised in a middle-class Jewish family. While not considered a child prodigy, young Bernie possessed a sharp mind and an entrepreneurial spirit that would later manifest itself in both his legitimate business dealings and his elaborate schemes. Growing up in the shadow of Wall Street, Madoff developed a fascination with the world of finance, a realm that promised wealth, power, and a chance to leave his mark on the world. In the early days of Madoff's firm, there was no hint of the grand deception that would later define his legacy. Madoff started out as a market maker, a vital cog in the machinery of Wall Street, responsible for facilitating trades between buyers and sellers. In the pre-digital era, this was a labor-intensive business, relying on a network of traders shouting bids and offers across a crowded trading floor. Madoff, however, possessed a keen eye for innovation and recognized the potential of technology to revolutionize the way stocks were bought and sold. As Madoff's reputation as a financial wizard grew, so too did the demand for his services. Investors, both large and small, were drawn to his aura of exclusivity and the promise of consistent, above-market returns. Madoff, ever the astute observer of human nature, recognized an opportunity to leverage his growing stature to amass even greater wealth and power. he began to cultivate an air of mystery around his investment strategies, hinting at a proprietary system that allowed him to consistently outperform the market regardless of broader economic conditions. The 1970s ushered in an era of unprecedented technological advancement, and Wall Street was not immune to its transformative power. Bernie Madoff, ever the astute businessman, recognized the seismic shifts underway and positioned himself at the forefront of this revolution. He saw in the burgeoning world of computers and electronic trading a way to disrupt the established order and propel his firm to new heights. His vision extended beyond simply automating existing processes. He sought to fundamentally reshape the way stocks were traded, and in doing so, cement his legacy as a true innovator. While Madoff's legitimate business activities continued to thrive, a darker side to his entrepreneurial spirit was taking shape. Fueled by an insatiable appetite for wealth and a growing sense of his own invincibility, Madoff embarked on a path that would lead him deep into the realm of financial deception. His weapon of choice, the Ponzi scheme, a deceptively simple yet devastatingly effective fraud that relies on a constant influx of new investors to pay off older ones, all the while creating the illusion of legitimate investment returns. As Madoff's Ponzi scheme grew in scale and complexity, so too did his need to maintain a facade of legitimacy. He understood that the success of his operation hinged not only on attracting new investors, but also on retaining the trust and confidence of his existing clientele. To achieve this, he went to great lengths to create an elaborate web of illusion, carefully crafting an image of stability, success, and exclusivity that belied the fraudulent nature of his enterprise. To sustain a Ponzi scheme as colossal as Madoff's, a constant influx of new money was paramount. This wasn't just about attracting a large number of investors. It was about orchestrating a controlled and ever-increasing flow of funds. Think of it like a delicate balancing act, where the weight of incoming investments had to consistently outweigh the demands for withdrawals. Madoff, always the cunning operator, mastered this balancing act through a two-pronged approach, aggressively opening sources to bring in new money and strategically limiting outflows to stem the tide of withdrawals. Limiting outflows, the other side of Madoff's delicate balancing act, was about controlling the pace of withdrawals, ensuring that they never outpaced the influx of new money. He achieved this through a combination of psychological manipulation, carefully crafted rules, and outright intimidation. One of his most effective tactics was to discourage frequent withdrawals, instilling in his investors a long-term mindset and emphasizing the importance of letting their investments grow undisturbed. The velvet rope of finance, cultivating an air of mystery. Madoff's success in perpetuating his scheme for so long can be attributed in part to his masterful creation of an exclusive investment club. He understood the seductive power of secrecy and the human desire to be part of something elite, something beyond the reach of ordinary investors. This aura of exclusivity served as a powerful magnet, drawing in a diverse clientele that included celebrities, charities, university endowments, and even seasoned financial professionals. Whispers of doubt. Early warnings ignored. While Madoff went to great lengths to project an image of success and invincibility, there were, in fact, numerous red flags and warning signs that emerged over the years. Financial analysts, journalists, and even some within the regulatory bodies tasked with overseeing the markets raised concerns about the consistency of Madoff's returns, the lack of transparency surrounding his investment strategy, and the overall plausibility of his claims. However, these early warnings were largely ignored, dismissed as the envious grumblings of competitors or the misguided suspicions of those who simply didn't understand Madoff's genius. The Walls Close in 2008 and the Unraveling of an Empire. The year 2008 will forever be etched in the annals of financial history as a time of unprecedented turmoil and upheaval. It was a year that saw the very foundations of the global financial system shaken to their core. The collapse of Lehman Brothers, once a titan of Wall Street, sent shockwaves through the global economy, leaving a trail of devastation in its wake, triggering a domino effect that brought the financial system to the brink of collapse. The once bustling trading floors turned into scenes of chaos and confusion. As panic gripped the markets, investors around the world scrambled to withdraw their funds, fearing the worst was yet to come. Desperate to salvage what they could from the wreckage, the financial landscape was littered with the remnants of failed institutions and shattered dreams. For Bernie Madoff, the architect of the largest Ponzi scheme in history, this sudden and dramatic shift in market sentiment marked the beginning of the end. His empire, built on deception and lies, began to crumble as the truth came to light. The confession, a family shattered, a legacy tarnished. As the reality of his situation sank in, Madoff's thoughts turned to those closest to him, his wife Ruth and their two sons, Mark and Andrew. They had shared countless moments of joy and laughter, unaware of the storm brewing beneath the surface. For decades, they had been the silent beneficiaries of his ill-gotten gains, enjoying a life of privilege and luxury made possible by the suffering of countless others. The lavish vacations, the opulent homes, and the extravagant lifestyle were all built on a foundation of deceit. But as the walls of his empire crumbled, Madoff was forced to confront the devastating truth that his actions had not only destroyed the lives of his investors, but had also irrevocably shattered the lives of his own family. The trust and love they once shared were now replaced with betrayal and heartbreak, leaving a legacy tarnished beyond repair. The unfading stain. Lessons from the abyss. Bernie Madoff's name has become synonymous with financial fraud, a stark reminder of the devastating consequences of unchecked greed and institutional failure. His elaborate Ponzi scheme, built on a foundation of lies, manipulation, and betrayal, shattered the lives of countless individuals and institutions, leaving an enduring scar on the global financial system. While Madoff's audacious deception was eventually exposed, the echoes of his crimes continue to reverberate, prompting soul-searching and reform within the world of finance.